Good afternoon, Jacie. How are you today?
I'm good. How are you doing?
Good, thank you. It feels like it's been a few weeks since we crossed paths on one of these Tidal talks.
Yeah, I think it's probably been 3 or 4.
Yeah, time is flying, actually, when you think about it. It's been several weeks that we've been doing these, and they've been pretty well received. So we're excited to keep sharing some things. So today we were going to talk a little bit about Reiki, which is something you know a little bit more about than I do, although I'm learning quickly just from being around you and being around others. And I think from my perspective, one of the things that I've been really interested in kind of understanding and learning more about is just how Reiki can be used for healing as well. So, and I mean, that's a big part of the healing center, is just not focusing on one modality or way of treating trauma or things that have been through. So I was wondering if you could talk to us a little bit more about what is Reiki and what can we use Reiki for?
Yeah, I mean, I could talk about it for hours, so you're going to have to cut me off here at some point. But essentially, Reiki it's an energy healing modality. So it was rediscovered in Japan a couple hundred years ago now. And the idea is that everything vibrates, right? We know that all of our cells, every atom within us, it's based on a vibration.
Mm-hmm.
And when we have low vibrations in our body or in our energy field, they tend to trap unwanted tension
Mm-hmm.
or emotions or even memories. And it
Okay.
kind of gets stuck in our body.
Okay.
And what Reiki does is it increases the vibration. So Reiki is a very high vibrating energy. And you can kind of picture it as if you have a boiling pot of water and a cold pot of water. When you pour the boiling water into the cold water, the entire pot over here becomes warm.
Mm-hmm.
So when you pour Reiki into your body, everything lifts. The vibration overall begins to raise.
Mm-hmm.
And with low vibrating energies, so I'll use anger as an example because it's a really good one. Anger tends to stick, right? We feel it physically in our body. When you get angry, you feel the tension and the restriction that's happening.
Yep.
So that tension and restriction is often not fully released, even after we think we've maybe processed the emotion. The
Yep.
low vibration and that tension still stays in our physical being or in our biomagnetic field or our energy field.
Okay.
So Reiki can go in and, like that boiling water, it warms up that low vibration of anger, and it actually gives room for our body and our cells and our energy to start breathing again properly. And it
Okay.
really allows that emotion to be released so that we're not carrying remnants of it and just having that little inkling piece of resentment that we can't seem to get rid of.
Okay.
Another aspect of what it does is works on the central nervous system and really
Yep.
helps calm us. So you go
Yep.
into that state of deep relaxation where you're breathing into your belly, your muscles are relaxed. A lot of people will drift off to sleep during a Reiki session, and that helps from a nervous system standpoint to retrain our body to get to a space of rest and digest rather than fight and flight.
Okay. And is Reiki something that you have to do with somebody else, or is it something that people can learn to do on their own as well?
Either or.
Okay.
I am a huge believer in the fact that Reiki as a self practice is
Yeah.
one of the most empowering tools you can have to heal yourself.
Yep.
At the same time, I really strongly believe that because we're social creatures, we are meant to heal in groups and work together.
Yep.
So for myself, I'm a Reiki master teacher and I teach Reiki levels. So Reiki level 1 is all about self healing. The
Okay.
entire focus of it is to heal your own nervous system, to heal your own trauma responses, to help yourself feel filled up and fulfilled again. A lot of people find Reiki level 1 is helpful for setting boundaries because they're learning how to care for themselves instead of constantly giving to everyone around them
Mm-hmm.
without any regard for their own needs.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's kind of the Reiki level 1 um, vibration in and of itself is self-love.
Okay.
And then as you get further into the Reiki levels, you can start working on other people or on animals or plants um, to help heal them. But really the idea is heal yourself first,
Mm.
and then you can't pour from an empty cup, right? We've heard that
Yeah.
1,000 times.
Yep.
So by filling yourself up first and doing that self-treatment, then you're able to help heal others.
Okay. So One of the things I think about is if I was somebody who was interested in Reiki, what would I expect? Because I think sometimes before anyone walks into therapy, walks into Reiki, walks into yoga, walks into something unfamiliar, we always kind of want to have a little bit of a sense of what's going to happen to me. What am I going to notice? What am I going to experience?
Yeah, absolutely. So there's when people come in for a Reiki treatment. So if
Hmm.
someone were to come to me as a Reiki master for their own for a session,
Hmm.
they would lay down on a massage table and honestly just relax there. Sometimes we talk, sometimes we don't. I really let the client guide that. But there's a lot of physical sensations people get from it. So people will say they feel warmth or heat
Hmm.
coming from the hands of the practitioner or flowing down their body. A lot of people experience tingling. And sometimes when the energy is actually flowing really intensely, people will feel cold. So I
Okay.
always have an extra little stack of blankets off to the side in case somebody gets that. Another thing that is quite common is an emotional release. So people will start crying, but not even with an emotion attached to it. They'll just have tears coming down their face. And I hear people say all the time, like, whoa, wait, I'm crying. How did that
Yeah.
happen? Why am I doing that?
Yeah.
But again, it's just releasing these old patterns. It could be something that, your inner child was sad about from when you were 4 that you don't even remember. And the energy is being let go and released. So
Wow.
you're not carrying that anymore.
Yeah.
Um, and then often afterwards, like I said before, people will fall asleep during sessions, but typically within the next day, people will sleep better at night.
Hmm.
Occasionally, people feel a little bit more emotional after a session for a day or so, just as things start to move and let go. Or sometimes people just feel really energetic and light. Almost every single time I've ever worked with somebody for their first Reiki session,
Hmm.
they leave saying, wow, I feel so clear or I
Mm.
feel so light. And
Yeah.
that's probably the number one thing that I hear.
And I bet that makes people want to come back and do it again.
Yeah.
Sounds
Yeah.
wonderful.
And that's one of the reasons that people want that Reiki level 1 training is because they can give themselves that light feeling, right? It
Yeah.
feels really good to take care of yourself.
So I heard you say some of the benefits of Reiki can be kind of release, sleeping better, setting boundaries. What other kind of things might people expect if they're
So I
involved?
actually got into it for physical pain, for
Okay.
chronic pain relief. It's amazing for chronic pain. Anybody with chronic illness understands the importance of reduced stress level as a way of managing that chronic illness or pain.
Yep.
So Reiki is excellent. I remember one time when I was like 12, I had a really flared up shoulder, and a family friend was a Reiki master, and she started working on it. And for the first time in probably 6 months after that session, I had no pain in my shoulder.
Wow, that's incredible.
Yeah, so it's amazing for physical pain,
Yeah.
great for stress and anxiety. It can be really powerful to help lift the heaviness of depression.
Yeah.
A lot of people, like, that's the lightness that comes about, right?
Yeah.
Grief, helping to release grief so that it can be processed so people can move forward with freedom
Yeah.
afterwards.
Yeah. It sounds like it really is a good tool to connect kind of the mental and physical state, which is what we're all trying to do when we're trying to help people heal.
Absolutely. Yeah, it really does. It really integrates
Yeah.
all aspects of ourself into the
Yeah.
healing process.
Yeah. I always really appreciate and love about when we do these talks and we're talking about different approaches and different services, like how at the end of the day, they're all kind of doing a similar intention or focus. They just kind of do
Mhm.
it in different ways, which I think is actually really validating because it just makes sense when you start talking about it.
Yeah, I love that. And the more modalities I learn from other people or hear about from other people, the more you realize we're getting the same goal met with
Yeah.
all these different approaches. And the more angles you can come at the same goal from, the faster that goal gets achieved, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. And so you are going to be teaching some Reiki level 1 classes coming up soon here at the Healing Center.
Yes. So there's one this coming Saturday, April 17th.
Okay.
And then there's another on Saturday, May 15th. So those
Okay.
are from 10 till 3, 10 a.m. to 3 p.m.
Okay.
And that's, like I said, that's really the one about taking care of yourself and self-healing.
Okay.
You don't need any experience. That's the point of level 1. A lot of people kind of have some anxiety because they don't know much about Reiki or they don't know what it
Yep.
is. But the entire premise of the Reiki level 1 is for you to get that information and get the confidence in being able to treat yourself and being able to channel that energy into your own body for your own healing.
Okay. Wow. That sounds incredible. If people wanted to sign up or if they wanted a little more information, how should they go about reaching you or reaching
Um,
us?
yeah, so the best way to sign up for the Reiki level ones here at the Healing Center are to message me on Facebook.
Okay.
Jacie Target is my Facebook page that has the Reiki, or email support@jacietarget.ca,
Okay.
which we can add. We'll add into the video
Yeah,
caption.
that's a good idea. Maybe we
Yeah.
can just kind of link it into the comments below or something like that. Awesome. Well, thanks for sharing that. I know we kind of keep you to like 10 minutes or so just to keep these title talks just sort of short and full of important information, but it sounds really awesome. And I'll be honest with you, I still have it in the back of my brain that you might see my face in one of these sessions. If yeah,
Oh, I would love to.
I'll let other people take the spots first, but if there's any spots available, I just think it sounds like such an awesome complement to everything else that we're already doing and working on. And I'd really like to experience it as well.
Yeah, it's an amazing way to empower yourself.
Yeah, definitely. All right. Well, thanks so much for your time, and we will be back at it again soon.
All right. Thank you.
Thanks, Jacie.
See ya.